Hi everyone,
Hi,
I'm Lisa,
I'm Renee.
and together we are the
Tapping
Tappin Duo. So welcome to week 2 of Dancing with the Stars. Overall, how'd you feel about last night's episode?
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. I'm so happy there's no professionals. I'm so happy that everybody's at the same level, just kind of, this morning on TV they were saying that nobody's been given a 9 the first or second week. This is the first time. And I thought, well, this is the first time they haven't had like 3 professional dancers going out there and dancing.
Yeah, that's very true.
So it's great.
Yeah. Okay, so we thought we'd stick with our format from last week, which was talk about the good and the not so good, and then everyone in between. Okay?
Go ahead.
So the 2 strongest based on the judges' scores were Paige and Mark, but Mark didn't dance. You want to quickly explain that?
Well, Mark had an injury. I don't know if you watched the package or not, but Paige kept saying, "You're the same size as me. Don't keep lifting me. You're going to hurt yourself." And he's like, "No, I've got a strong core," which he probably does. But he's getting older. Sorry, Mark, but you are. And it's hard to lift your own weight, you know. Not that she weighs the same as him,
Right.
but you know what I mean. And he ended up pulling a disc or something. He had to get an MRI and a CAT scan today, and hopefully he's fine. But Alan came in and took over within 2 hours. But I think everybody has an understudy. I think every pro has another pro that has learned their routine just for these reasons.
That may very well be true. That would make perfect sense.
Now the hard part would be Paige, only used to dancing with Mark,
Mm-hmm.
Alan, who dances with all kinds of dancers all the time, can switch. Paige, it's new to her, and I think she did a phenomenal job being told that Mark won't be her partner. She didn't freak out.
Right.
She just did what she was supposed to do, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
So I thought she did a really great job.
I thought so too. And the other strong couple last night were
Wayna and Lindsay. I love him. He's such a free spirit out there.
He is. He's so enjoyable to watch.
They both did a salsa.
So do you think that impacted the judges' voting?
I don't think it impacts
Scoring.
their voting. I think it impacts the way the dancer can dance, because salsa's hips but freedom of movement. There isn't, like the rumba has certain style and technique to it. The Argentine tango has a definite flicks and the way you move, where salsa's much more freestyle.
Right.
I mean, it has its things it has to do too, elements in the dance it has to do too. I have to tell you, through the whole thing, Len was so frustrated with the no content in so many of those dances. You know, he just went, "You know what, you're better. You know what, you showed up." You know, and I'm just laughing going, he is so frustrated.
He is not happy with the choreographers at all.
No, not at all.
Okay, so both of them scored 24, which were highs for the night. Then we had 2 couples that were, let's say, weakest of the night, Geraldo and Edita. So I appreciated hearing why it looks like his left foot doesn't get picked up, because it does look like he shuffles a lot. However, the other half of his body isn't doing much movement either, so I understood the score of 13. They did a salsa.
He knows he's terrible.
Yes.
He just wanted the experience, so that was kind of nice.
Said he was on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
And then poor Misha and Artem. She looked near tears last night. So frustrated.
She's so unteachable.
Well, I'm not sure this is what she thought it would be, and I think she might be overwhelmed.
Okay. She's an actress. She's on stage all the time. She has to learn lines. She's a model. She's always in the spotlight. She had to have some idea that she's going to have to learn to dance. The fact is that she's a perfectionist. I'm being critical now. She seems to be a perfectionist, and she didn't get it right the first time. She's horrible. That's how she feels about herself. So she spends most of her time beating herself up. And then she blames it on the band because live music's just different. Of course live music's different.
Well, and I think dancing is harder than we think it is.
It's so much harder.
They make it look easy. The professionals clearly make it look easy. And the stars that are successful at it and it comes naturally make it look easy. And I think that it was a shock to Misha how hard it was. I did see disappointment when it wasn't her name called
To go home.
to go home.
Yeah, she still doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be nice. Maybe all of a sudden she'll see the light and find that this is just for fun, like Geraldo. You know, okay, you don't have any rhythm. It's okay. You're not perfect at it. Oh well, that's okay. But you know, some people aren't like that. They just aren't. They just beat themselves up. And I feel sorry for Artem because it's really hard to teach someone like that.
Yeah, it's one who doesn't. So just because we haven't, let's just quickly remind people. This one is Misha. Oops. And this one is Geraldo. So they were our weakest last night.
Yeah.
And then our two strongest were
Lindsay
and
Waynia. We have a hard time with his name. Sorry, Waynia, but we just do. And then Paige and Mark, who are right there.
Also.
Okay.
Okay. And then we basically put everyone else into a general middle of the road
Oh, look, they have the
category.
same costume on. That's pretty good.
I would say the most improved between last week and this week was Doug Flutie.
Oh, Doug Flutie. Oh my gosh. I was so excited for Doug Flutie.
So here's Doug Flutie. Just so people know which one we're talking about. I thought he and Karina did a great job. And I watched him gain confidence and strength on the floor as he kept dancing.
Yeah. Well, he attacked that finally, you know. You know, he's just like, okay, here we go. Throwing the football.
Right.
Everybody else to me is pretty much the same. I thought Niall did a great job.
He did less facing of her in his dancing and more side-by-side dancing, so he didn't have that mirror right there. He had to trust that he knew what he knew and that his timing was right. And I thought he did really well.
He did great. He did great. The only thing that he needs to, like they said, I noticed it right away, is his hand and his feet are sickled. And that's just coming from her telling him, this is how your hand's going to have to be and this is what your foot, you need to just train them to do that. And he'll be fine. So there's a nice line between the tip of his toe and the top of his finger. There's a nice line for that. But he's amazing. I think he's doing a great job. Everybody else for me is pretty much in the same category right now. I don't think anybody, the only person I really thought really improved was Doug Flutie.
I would agree 100%. It was market improvement.
Yes. Everybody else stayed about the same because they're learning a different dance.
Right.
And I think as they get comfortable and have more fun and just relax.
Yeah, I think Latin's hard if you're not used to dancing and then you have to feel on the floor in a very sexy way. The rumba, right? The tango.
Yeah, so that's all I have to say about last night. I think. Do you have anything else you want to put in there?
No, the only thing that I have is that, you know, the opening number, the girls were wearing basically bikinis. And throughout I know it's Latin night, now I know it's the style of dance. But if we apply the trickle-down theory, what happens is the young kids that are dancing think they need to dress like these professionals. So you have 7-year-olds in bare midriffs, 4-year-olds in bare midriffs. And there I see a problem, because if you're dressing the women in order to get ratings, then they don't have to dance at all. Why is it even a dancing show? And I just made me so mad. I watched Keo and Jody. So I never saw Jody's feet. Maybe that's the cameraman's fault. Keo didn't even have a shirt on, and that's as equal as they got to a guy being undressed. Every other guy had at least a shirt on, and the girls were slinkily dressed. And I'm glad not Latin night's over, because I can't stand.
What did Ginger Z do? What did Ginger Z do? Did she do a cha-cha or a salsa? I can't remember what she did. I think she did a salsa. Yeah, she did a salsa.
Okay.
And she was dressed great.
Yeah.
She was fully covered.
Jody covered,
yeah.
But she had 2 dancers on the side that weren't covered.
Oh, I didn't even notice them.
And it's just an observation that I make. Which of the professionals had hardly anything on? It was either Whitney or Lindsay. Just putting it out there that I think there needs to be more clothing, so that we can focus on the dance.
Yeah.
instead of me just getting frustrated that they're selling bodies and not dance. I guess that's it for last night's episode.
So we'd like you guys to comment, share our link, and comment on what you think about the dancers and who do you think's going to improve and who do you see that has a future here. I mean, this is finally a season where you can have a say in who you think might get better rather than it always just being one standout that's really going to take it all. You know, with Derek being gone, it's really up for grabs for who's going to be the next superstar that's going to come through. Mm-hmm. I hope Tony comes, and I think he finally feels like he has a shot, which I'm very excited for Tony. You know, he's got a partner that just isn't going to go home in the third week.
Yes.
You know, so, and Tony's a beautiful dancer, so, and he's conservative too, so I like that too. So, anyway, we're going to say goodbye to Geraldo. Is that
Geraldo's going
correct?
home, so say goodbye to Geraldo. Editor.
Geraldo. Editor.
As I go to Dancing with the Stars Heaven, or Mirror Ball Heaven.
Mirror Ball Heaven.
Okay.
And we'll put them up there.
And we will see you next week.
Bye.